All right, so for more reaction, we have in the studios Mustapha Abukari, who is the acting deputy CEO of Masloc, to give us details as to what this issue is all about. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're more than 6 feet, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm 5'2". You're making me look so short.
No, it's expected. You know, sometimes there are advantages of being a short person and advantages of being a long person.
That's a very good point there. All right, so it's Mustapha Abukari. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much.
Now, on the front page of the Daily Graphic today, I know you might have chanced on it. It says that C.E.O has found fraud of over 1 million cedis from Masloc. Yeah. What can you tell us about it?
Thank you very much. I think contrary to what the Daily Graphic has reported, I must say that it is the management of Masloc, led by our Chief Executive Officer, that we instituted an internal mechanism or investigation into this matter somewhere in 2013. We had our own internal auditors who went around the country to be able to, as it were, match our monthly reports with vis-a-vis the loans disbursement that we've made. And it is out of that that we realized that there was some problems with regards to our check system.
All right, so what are the facts? We hear the acting director of operations has been actually sacked.
Yeah, that's what I was building up to. Okay. We had our own investigation, internal investigations. We also had to, aside the internal investigation, we had to, as it were, report this matter to C.E.O because it's an organized crime unit. The acting head of operations that you saw on the front page of the Daily Graphic had to bring in some ghost names and for us to process with regards to some credit officers from the eastern region and then western region and some part of Greater Accra. And so it is out of our internal control mechanism that we realized that there was something wrong. We've issued out so many checks and we are not getting feedback from those checks. So we had to organize ourselves. I was the chairman of the disciplinary committee that investigated this matter. We went through it and we realized that he was culpable, he admitted it, and then we punished him for it. All the officers involved have been dismissed as I speak to you now. It was then and then that, of course, C.E.O also took it up to investigate. So the report that is coming out from whether Imani Ghana or the Daily Graphic, it's not as if we sat down to allow this to happen. It was Masloc who set aside an investigating team to look into this matter. We unearthed it and reported to C.E.O.
All right, but it looks as if this reaction is kind of a face-saving reaction or action to defend Masloc. What do you have to say to that?
It's not like we are defending it. That's the truth. I mean, if you ask C.E.O, we referred to C.E.O in December 2013 on this matter. And our board had the C.E.O boss on it. That's Mr. Mustapha. He was on our board at Masloc. And then, of course, they were dissolved by the presidency. Now, so they had that information. Okay. We provided that information to them for them to carry on that investigations further. We have gotten our report. As of December last year, these people involved were dismissed.
All right. Now, some are demanding the arrest of 4 directors, including you, for negligence of complicity and your actions. Imani Ghana, a think tank, is one of them.
Well, I'll be surprised because if Imani Ghana wants to go to that, then I'm not sure there's going to be any laws in the country.
Why do you say that?
Because there are laws and we work with the laws. We have been put in place to keep the people or to manage the people as funds. And we've done what we're supposed to do by making sure that we protect the purse. If Imani Ghana sits to say that because he is alleged that could not, as it were, regularize the payment of his net funds for his people, should he be sacked as Imani Ghana? I don't think so. But the point is that we saw it, we unearthed it. If we had kept quiet and sat on the issue, then you would have said the directors had connived with this acting director of operations. But we didn't sit down, we went further, investigated the issue, punished them for it, and we have even recovered the monies. As we speak to you now, monies are being paid back by these same people. So how you have to pat us in the back to say, congrats to Masloc for fighting corruption. They're paying back with interest. And if you ask C.E.O, the money, if you go into the account and you ask
what risk?
No, there's a penal interest in terms of the rate of 2%. There's a monthly installment you're supposed to be making in terms of the rate, which is 2% again. There's a penal interest of 2%. But beyond that is the prosecution by the Attorney General. C.E.O has submitted this docket to the Attorney General. The Attorney General is going to prosecute them. Yes, the fact that you've been dismissed, you have been asked to pay back, does not mean that is the end of the situation. You need to be prosecuted so that it could serve a message to other people or who are working within Masloc or in a state institution that we will not cover corruption as the President is espousing us to do.
Okay, so several of this issue, what is happening now may be happening at the district or regional levels. What do you have to say to that? What measures have been put in place to make sure that it doesn't happen?
Yeah, for every loan that one or each and everybody applies, we make sure that we cross-check through our compliance unit we set aside at the head office. If a credit officer brings us a loan application to process a loan, we would have to go behind the credit officer and investigate from that group whether they actually applied for those loans. Before your checks are going to be issued out, we have to see you personally for you to sign to receive the checks. So we meet a group of women or group of people. Each and everybody is supposed to sign for his money. If the persons in the group are not available then that day, we will not give the monies back. We'll have to return monies back to Masloc. So these are mechanisms we put in place. There are monthly visitations to our clients, and we've asked our clients to call out to free lines to make sure that anybody who has applied and found out that maybe his money, he or his money has not gotten to him or her, should be able to report to us. So these are systems we've put in place to be able to catch some of these things.
All right. So apart from government, does Masloc get other support from other institutions, financial support, I should say?
No, we used to have in the past where the Japanese government supported us with some grants. We had to support the Fisher folks with that. About 1,000 outboard motors was bought. And apart from them, they supported some Northern Fund victims in 2007. Aside them, it's always government funding, Government of Ghana funding. And so that's why we're making sure that no monies of government is dissipated or misappropriated.
So what do you have to tell those watching us now? What assurance are you giving them?
Well, everybody should be rest assured that the fight against corruption as espoused by His Excellency the President is what we are carrying out. We're making sure that nobody takes the people of Ghana's money for granted. Every single person that has been invested in us to be given to the people of Ghana, we will make sure that we give it back to the people of Ghana. No officer of Masloc can take us for a ride, and our systems have been put in place. The security agents have been set alert on all these people who are trying to be fraudulent within our institutions, and we will uncover them as due course.
We appreciate your time
Thank
on
you so much.
Newsbreak. So I've been speaking to Mustapha Abukari, who is the acting deputy CEO of Masloc. You're still watching Newsbreak. We go for a short breather. Please stay.